We're very lucky to have a special guest with us, Brett Lee, who has been a proud ambassador for Draftstars for the last couple of years and is lucky enough to be talking to all of us here at the Big Bash Final. Brett, thank you for joining us today on Daily Fantasy Rankings.
Pleasure, nice to be here. What is a great venue and a decent game happening outside.
Yeah, and we're seeing some early wickets, so the Renegades are looking a little bit in trouble, which is probably the Stars will be very happy about. Aaron Finch is just, as we're looking at the moment, has just gone out. How did you get involved with Draftstars?
Oh, look, it's happened over the last couple of years, and obviously there's an opportunity there. I like what they stand for. It's about having fun, keeping involved also in the game of cricket, which is very important. So even though that people are, chancing their arm on cricket and scores, all that type of stuff, and all that digital fantasy league, and in that space, they're still watching cricket, and to me that's really important.
I completely agree. And, Big Bash, you don't necessarily have a team that you're as connected to with maybe NRL or AFL. But, playing fantasy sports, even if it's a free game or if it's for a couple of bucks, you can get really invested in cricket and want to watch every night and every game.
Well, you can, but you can hear them behind us. They're going crazy. I mean, it's going to be the last 5 or 6 overs will be absolutely electrifying, knowing that it's 50k up for grabs here today. So, as I said, it keeps them current with the game of cricket. It makes them have fun whilst they're watching the game. It's always good to sort of, you pick a few players. You've got 7 players, 7 options, and you watch them throughout the season grow. You watch your squad grow. You might have a squad of 20. Obviously, you cut that down to 7, but you watch them grow throughout the year. So I reckon they'll make a decent selection committee behind us as well.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a lot of opinions in the room, that's for sure. Everyone thinks that they're a chance to win today, but as you said, probably when we get down to the last few overs is really going to separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, it definitely will. And, when you look at the stats too, that 3 wickets in the first 6 overs in the power play, most bowling sides going to win. So at the moment, it's not looking good for the Renegades. We need one more partnership for the Renegades to carry through maybe the 12th over, put like a nice little leverage where they can score some runs at the back end. But the great thing about 2020, it could come down the last over.
Absolutely. So obviously now we know it is their 3 for. Yeah. Who would you want to be on now?
Well, I back the Renegades. I don't want to be a fence sitter. I'm going to still back the Renegades, even though that I guess the stats would prove that. I won't back the Renegades. I'll back the Stars. Even though the stats prove that 3 in the first 6 or 4 in the first 8, generally going to win. So with all that said and done behind me, I would have to then, if I'm a betting man, go to the Stars. But it only takes one partnership. Runs on the board in the final is very important. If they can somehow get their way to 120, 130 somehow after 20 overs, runs on the board, I've always said in the final, are crucial.
And look, obviously there was a little bit of a blip on the radar 2 nights ago in the semi-final. No one scored 180 runs at Marvel Stadium this season. And, 130 has been a defendable target. So, as you said, runs on the board, really anything can happen now. And if wickets are getting, taken right now, there's no reason why the same thing can't happen for the Stars as well.
Well, exactly. And you only judge a wicket when both teams bat on it. The other thing, too, we have to think about and consider is that the Stars only got their opportunity to play in the final through hard work, but a bit of luck. And when I say luck, what happened up in Brisbane allowed them to get that to go that point past the Sydney Thunder. The Thunder losing, obviously only getting 1 point when the lights went out up the Gabba against the Heat. That allowed the Stars to leapfrog Thunder and those types of teams. So they need a bit of luck. Will that be the luck that they need tonight to go on and win the final?
Well, Brett, thank you very much for your support of Draftstars and not only the Australian fantasy industry. It's really good to have you on board and a pleasure to have a chat with you today.
Thank you, and best luck to the guy or girl that wins a 50k here tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Indeed. Thanks a lot. Cheers.